All right, all right, all right. I'm looking a mess, but I'm okay with that. Oh, what can you do? Okay. So, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm just giving it one more moment, you guys. I put out the notification and forgot I had to do something, so I had to get up and do that. And then I'm like, oh my God, people are probably coming to the page and I'm not over there. So it's just a little bit of pressure. Vetiver and pink grapefruit. Vetiver. I'm telling you, you guys, I'm here to tell you. I don't have it really together to come forward with my stuff the way that I want to. So I'm just not doing it right now. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I don't have it together to do it in the way that I would like to, the way that I normally would come forward. But I still have the gift. And I'm here to tell you, these essential oils are so very useful. I'm here to tell you, just smelling them combats so many things on spiritual levels, on physical levels, sensory levels. You just can't beat them. And they're all natural. There's nothing manufactured about them. I'm going to give it one more moment, you guys, and then I'm going to start. So when I have it together, I will come forward with it, and it will be a blessing and a gift to you. And I'm looking, but it's all good. So I'm going to give it to 123 or 24, and then I'm going to start. Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Okay, great. I'm about to get started. I'm going to start at 124. It's 123. Let's do it now. That's my number. 123. Welcome everyone to another episode of Taking Up Space, a Michelle A. Mayer podcast. Always excited about coming forward, you guys. Today is absolutely no different. Today I want to come forward with I don't want to redo anything. I always want to move forward, but I want to expand and expound upon some of the things that I said yesterday in my podcast about the dust eaters. I got to, as with anything that I come forward with, I have to convey the totality of the truth of it, and then I can let it go. But it's my job to let spirit flow through me in the way that it deems me to allow it to flow, and just be the vessel to allow it to flow through. So, yesterday when I came forward with the podcast, literally that was completely last minute. Even today, you guys, I've been moping around here. I got up and I did a couple of things, and I'm going to start being more transparent about my life. Not that you guys probably care, but because we're all in this thing together. Nobody is no one is so far-fetched within their either the successes or the failures or the middle parts of both places that we can't relate to one another. So I sat up today and I did a couple of things that were effective, nowhere near to the way that I would normally live. My life is completely upside down. It is. My life, if anyone were to come and visit me that knows me, they'd be like, what's going on? My life is upside down, but I'm coming out of it because I was dealing with a lot of things. A lot of things came upon me in a short amount of time that were very pivotal, and they shook the foundation of my life and my daughter's life. I'm a single mom. It's just me and my baby, and they were so monumental that they challenged the foundation of everything that I built my life upon. And it not only challenged me, it challenged, my whole family structure. And which is terrible. You know what I mean? It's a terrible thing. But I made it through thus far, and I'm putting some of the pieces back together. And what you'll find, I know many of you probably have experienced this, is that you're trying to put the pieces back together, you got to stay motivated. Because it hurts to put the pieces back together, because you're looking at all of the shattered pieces and the shards, and you're mourning the fact that they're even broken. And you're constantly having to rethink all the things that allowed for the pieces to break and still go about trying to mend it. That's the hard part that nobody really talks about. And that's the part that, you'll wake up and you'll be like, okay, I'm about to put these pieces together, and you have all the energy to do it, and then you'll find that not long after, and getting some of the pieces and gathering them and trying to put them together, you're just exhausted, and you just like, I'm just gonna lay on the sofa and think. I'd rather just think. You get lost in your head if you're anything like me. Everybody's different though, so where someone may lay around and think, somebody might go and buy some food and eat. Or the next person might go to the mall and shop. Or the next person might, want to do all kinds of other things. We all have an avenue that we utilize. And the moral of it is that it's just sad that it's unfortunate that those experiences have to befall us. But the good part about them is that they birth a stronger aspect of yourself. And what I want to speak to today is, like I said, what brought that up was I was laying on the sofa and I was getting sleepy. And I was like, I just woke up. This is morning time. Why am I sleepy? And then I thought, that's that enemy energy. That enemy energy wants to keep me in this spellbound, sorceristic, non-productive way. And even though it's easy for me to lay there, just like Abimelech, when God told Jeremiah that he would send Abimelech somewhere to find safety on the shaded side of the mountain until all of this stuff blew over between the children going into bondage and captivity in Babylon. Abimelech knew nothing of it. And Jeremiah sends him to go get these figs. And he falls asleep for 66 years. And then he wakes up and he's like, darn, that was some good sleep, and I want to go back to sleep. That's kind of how it is with us. Sleep is a sweet feeling. You just it's a comfortable space. But you got to snap yourself out of the sleep and get into the land of the living. And so my conversation for you today is more so surrounding what leads a lot of these things in motion as it relates to the dust eaters being successful. We're going to talk about some of the characteristics of the dust eaters. We're going to shine light on them. And we're going to pull them from the shadows because they love the shadows. Their power is in the shadows. Witches love the shadows, friend. They love it. One thing a witch hates is the light. They don't want to be seen. They don't like it. But see, God has made it. This is why I say this whole world is so masterful. God has made it so that this thing is fair. This is really a fair, balanced world when you know your role. It's only when you don't know your role that it becomes very imbalanced. A knower knows how to spot such people. They know, because those things that are making the knower know, that thing that makes the knower vibrate to the frequency in which they vibrate, these witches or these, let's just call them dust eaters, these dust eaters are not vibrating at that. So it's obvious. There's not a lot of commonality. Let's get to it. So, one thing, when I spoke to the podcast yesterday, I was speaking to how, of course, Adam and Eve would be the first people to encounter these dust eaters. They would be, before they were dust eaters, they had not been cursed at this point. They would just be very deceptive people. They're liars. But they're not your run-of-the-mill liar. That's not who they are. They are liars that know the art of lying. They're not a liar that just lies because they don't have an answer at the spur of the moment. They're liars that have based an entire reality off of a lie. They have found intrigue in the lie. The deception. Deception, lie, it's the same thing. Skinny, slim, same thing. Trick of the words. These dust eaters know how to bend the light. They are masters at projection. And so these masters of projection would first encounter Eve. And they would use their mastering of projection to enchant her. This is what happened to her. She was enchanted. She was approached in a certain way. This was a whole theatrical event. She was approached in a certain way. She was spoken to in a certain way by an individual that presented himself in a certain way. All of these things were all theatrics, tricks of the eye, smoke and mirrors, all to get her to put her guard down, to trust them, or to trust it. It never needed to prove itself because it presented itself as something that she trusted already. Yet she was not privy to such tricks. These tricks would not be something that she would have had experience with interacting with. She never knew such trickery. These people would introduce the trickery, the dust eaters, prior to them being cursed and bound to the seed of Adam and its dust. So it's fair to say that these dust eaters, their primary mode of operation is through the vertical of deception and vanity. They're very vain. It's all image. If they're not able to lie and to project a lie based upon a particular image that they will manipulate, they can look and be anything. Eve, the Apocrypha says, the serpent came to Eve and as if it was Adam. They're able to look as if they are anything. They are deceptive. This is the vertical. This is the path that they choose to walk in this life. This is what garners them all of their success, is lying, the variety of lying. See, this is what I mean by they have indulged in the craft of lying to the point that they have become the lie. They've indulged in all of the delicacies of lying, deception. Deception can be me making myself look like something I'm not, me projecting myself as a certain way. My strength is in projection and deception. When you boil it all down, this is what it gets. After you siphon out all of the other stuff that doesn't really matter, it gets down to what? Lying, deceiving, by way of projection, smoke and mirrors, a look. They're always concerned about the look, because if the look ever leaves, what else is there? I looked up the word vanity. It says it refers to the lack of lasting substance. There's no substance. Like I said, smoke and mirrors, projection. You give someone the benefit of the doubt because of what you see and hear. But after a certain amount of time, if there is no result in what I see and hear of you, that means that there's a discrepancy. There's a divide. It's not lining up. There's no substance. Your fruit tells me who you are. If you look at, I'll just use myself. If you look at my life resume, you would be able to tell who I am by my life resume. Even if I don't want you to know, if you looked at it without me having the ability to hide anything, you would see exactly who I am by my life resume, by the things that are produced from my involvement with you and whoever else. You gotta be able to, you know a thing by its fruit. It's consistent fruit. So vanity and being vain and being desiring to live a very vanity-driven life means lack of substance. The Bible speaks a lot to vanity. Living your life without having any substance, chasing things that do not serve you, that will never garner you a reward, just so you can look good amongst other people, just so you can manipulate people so that you can have comfort and that you may be able to be powerful over other people. When I spoke to, I think it was the Bible study I did it on, or the other podcast a couple of days ago, whichever one it was, when I spoke to Joseph and his brothers coming and them feeling that they needed to bow to him, that they were so afraid that he was going to mishandle them because of all the wickedness that they had premeditatively plotted and done against him, that sent him on this majestically frightening, wicked, wonderful, uplifting journey within the world of spirit and in the world and within the earth. They thought he was going to be resentful for all that they had done to him. But in him listening to them, after they finished their complaint saying, our Father told us to tell you to forgive us. I know he's transitioned and I know you can have your way with us, but please forgive us. We're bowing to you at your feet. And all he could do was cry. The Bible said he wept. And I feel as though he wept because he's thinking, you all did all of that thinking that I wanted you to bow to my feet. You thought I was going to get off on you feeling less than me. I told you all my dreams because I want you to feel like you're included and involved. I was never showing off to you. I didn't want you to think that I was trying to one-up you and be right and you're wrong kind of thing. I'm trying to show you something that will benefit you and empower you. And in the same time, I'm showing it to you in a tone that you know that I am worthy to tell you these things. That you take what I say and say, that was somebody that I deem worthy of telling me such things. That must be true. Anything less lessens the magnitude of the truth that I tell you. But you do have people in the world that get off on overpowering people. And this was the problem. They get off on feeling great by having the upper hand over people that they obviously see have issues with self-confidence. Whereas Joseph is saying, I don't want to, friend, me noticing that you have issues with self-confidence and you coming before me and feeling like you got to beg me hurts me. I don't like the way it feels. It makes me feel bad. I can't stand to see you like that. I feel indebted to you. I have to help you in some way. Why? Because I love myself. I love my Creator. And we are all images of our Creator. And to see you in such a low state is like me seeing my Creator in such a low state. I thought about this the other day. I said, I should have said that. That's what it is. Me seeing you in such a low state, knowing how great you could ascend to be. It's like, I don't want to see it. Let me turn my head. Please, let's end this conversation. That's how I feel. I have to testify to you. I gotta pour into you. I can't leave you like that. I have to do everything I can in that moment to rectify that within you. Whether it's a seed I put in your head or something I give you to help you, I've got to be able to improve upon that. That's just who I am. And I know that there are many people in the world like that. I have come across those people. Thank God for those people. Because, friend, there are people in the world. There are very vain people in the world. Their whole life is based upon lies, trickery, and deception. And they have led many, many, many honorable people astray. They have allowed many honorable people that have come forth with magnificent gifts to be robbed of the results of their gifts just from being attached to these people. Refers to the lack of lasting substance. Futility. This is vain and vanity. These are what they mean. Lack of substance, lasting substance. There is no lasting substance. They're always looking for a new thing because nothing is everlasting. They can never consistently eat off of their own talents because they don't have any. Futility, emptiness, and meaninglessness. It's nothing to it. It's not lasting. Like a vapor or striving after the wind. You're trying to catch the wind. It's futile. Looking busy. Saying you're doing all these things to get this certain result and you're not. You know, I was watching, I don't know who I saw. I was watching something on Instagram. And this lady had brought it up. She was like, I see all these people in the gym and they put their tripod up. Because when we see these people in the gym, we're thinking, okay, They're actually getting after it. But she showed how they do. They get this tripod, and they put it up. And they even get lights. They got these little portable ring lights that they put around themselves. It's a whole photo shoot. And they do a couple of things in the gym, and they spray mist on themselves to make it look like they're all sweaty and stuff. And it's all fake. Nothing against plastic surgery. I have nothing against plastic surgery. I think it's amazing some of the things that you can do with plastic surgery. Nothing against it. But if you're out here projecting physical fitness and you go into the plastic surgeon, this is what the scripture is speaking to. It's all perception. It's all a lie. You're selling a lie. And again, I'm not here to try to micromanage anyone, but I'm just giving you a visual of what is going on here. When God speaks to vanity, when we see what has put much in place, in motion, that has caused us to transgress, these are the people. When I speak to Babylon, Eve is the mother of all living. I don't care if you are European. I don't care if you are Chinese. I don't care if you are Russian. I don't care if you are Italian. I don't care if you are from Spain. I don't care if you're from Africa. I don't care if you're Jamaican. I don't care if you're American. I don't care if you're a Latino from Central America. Everybody came from the same thing. So this is not a racial thing. This has nothing to do with race. This is a mindset. This is a state of mind that was adopted. It was siphoned out by way of the flood, but it picked back up in Babylon. The children, instead of listening to God and getting off of that boat and going in every direction that they could go and replenishing the earth, they coagulated. And they stayed amongst one another because they were afraid. We can understand it. But still, sometimes you've got to move in ways that you yourself don't understand. Friend, I'm here to tell you the last 3 or 4 years, one of these type of people, a group of them, or just in general, wanted God blessed. I could not understand what direction I was going in. I couldn't understand it. It was as if I'm walking down a hallway, dark, can't see nothing in front of me. I'm just feeling the walls. It was like that for many years. A lot of times you must walk forward and not really even understand where you're going. This is what God would show these children when they got off of the boat. He said, go and replenish the earth. You've seen my power. You don't need a rumor. You don't need someone to third party it to you. You know. Now act like you know. But they would not do it. They would coagulate. And in them coagulating, they were led astray. They had a better chance of keeping it moving and moving in whatever direction that they needed to than they did in coagulating. And they would get turned by these people. Vanity. Vanity. Projections. They would get turned by people that would pretend that they could assist them, that looked the part. These people could not even materialize in a body. They would need the children to create vessels from which they could be housed in. And they would need the children to use their wherewithal to allow their spirits to go into these vessels. Everything is contingent upon what the children do. But through vanity and lies, they trick. It's a trick of the mind. They trick the way, they turn the way that these people think of themselves by what they see of them. Even though there's nothing tangible, they're tricked out of their power. So those that are, this is why Abram said, whoa, how in the heck is this? My dad is making all of these idols. My father is making all of these idols, and he is my father that is making these idols. These idols need my father. Why is my father making these idols and serving them? Shouldn't these idols be serving my father? Testament of Abraham. Chapter 2. Just to prove what I said of Abraham. I'm sorry, what I said about vanity and vain being spoken to in the Bible. I'm just going to bring this up because I just saw it. Testament of Abraham, chapter 1. You will at this time depart from this vain world and will quit the body and go to your own Lord among the good. This is God sending an angel to Abraham, because Abraham has lived a very long time, and it is now time for him to transition. Nonetheless, Abraham would question these things of his father. And he would say, all this stuff you're doing is your work. It is your ingenuity that puts this together. You think these things into existence. And because you have thought these things into existence and created a vessel for which that they can manifest in life, why are you serving this? Are you serving yourself? Well, if that's the case, then call it that. All of it would be vanity. All of it. I'm going to read, before I go there, so we know much has happened since Babylon. Babylon is one of the main times within Scripture that we see these dust eaters taking advantage of the children. The children themselves would take on the mantle of these dust eaters after God would turn his back on them. The entire world God would turn his back on. That's why when Scripture shows Abraham and his household, you see that they were idol worshipers, because this was the status pro quo of the whole world. Everyone had become idol worshipers because God has now said, okay, I'm going to let you guys follow these fallen ones. And in following these fallen ones, they were all idol worshipers, because now these fallen ones are disembodied spirits that cannot manifest in the physical body. So they're following these, they're worshiping these idols because the fallen ones can't manifest in a physical body. The body must be created for them through wood and stone, or gold and silver, all kinds of metal. And these fallen ones would allow the people to, they would need the people to do many things for them. Every single thing they would need done, they would need the people to do it. They don't have a body. And so in doing so, the people began to take on the ideologies of the fallen ones. Dust eating. They began taking advantage of one another. Dust eating is taking advantage of another person, friend. That's what dust eating is. It's using people, the residuals of whatever comes from those people. Their gifts, their talents, things that you can't manufacture yourself. This is why the fallen ones were called dust eaters. They could not manufacture these things. These things were exclusive to Adam and Eve. All they could do was eat off of the dust of it. the results of it. They could never inhabit the creation of it. Creation is not dust. You only partake of the fruit. And just like any fruit, once it is birthed, even if it comes out as a little bud, it begins to decay. It's on a cycle of decaying. Dust eaters. So all of the fruit birthed from these people, they must have in order to be successful. And people would take on these attributes. So when I say dust eaters, I'm not speaking to any racial group of people. I'm not speaking to any sex. I'm speaking to a way of mind. Because truth be told, we're living in an age right now where there are many dust eaters. And there are many dust eaters of groups of people that never were dust eaters before. But they've taken on this way of thinking because of the nations they are under, the environments they're in. I wrote, they siphon energy and lock you out of your own happiness. You cannot have any level of happiness or any level of success being bound to a dust eater. They siphon it. It's never this. It's this. It's the haves and have-nots. The dust eaters come and they siphon all of the manifestation. How do they do it? They use the science that took much to perfect. They siphon the science. They've stolen the spiritual science. And it's not exclusive to them. It's just that they have a hold on it because other people are ignorant to it. Other people are ignorant to their tactics. But everybody is not ignorant to their tactics. The dust eaters are the type of people that will watch you from afar. And if you ever bring any light upon them, or if you, because they hate the light, you ever shine the light of truth on them, it is offensive to them because they are liars. If you ever look at a dust eater's resume, life resume, they will show consistently that they are liars. But they will use spiritual science, whether through witchcraft, sorcery, whatever, to cloak it as something else because they are masters at deception, vanity. Vanity is their realm. They are all vanity, no substance. When it's time to get out there and tap, they can't tap. They can't. Without a script, they can't speak. They just can't be themselves. Vanity. And what they will do, we got to see this for what it is, because when you boil it down to, because this came to me yesterday, and I don't know how I was trying to move, but it was on my mind. I thought, even doing this podcast, I wasn't even going to come on with a podcast today. I thought it, but it's like something is urging me forward to speak it. When we begin to see this, we can trace the hand back. Usually, whenever we see something monumental happen in our lives, and we're like, I don't understand why this is happening. A lot of times, we can trace the hand back to the dust eater. Everybody else will suffer the results of the lie, but the dust eater. Projection, smoke, and mirrors. Revelation will speak to this dust eater and saying he has 7 heads, many faces. He can hide himself amongst many people. You don't know who it is amongst those 7 dust eaters. Dust eaters. Excessive self-pride. I spoke to yesterday about, I did a follow-up video to my podcast, and I wasn't able to upload it yesterday, but I uploaded it this morning. And all of my podcasts and all of my videos, Bible studies, and all the content I send out is really to shine a light of truth on things. Because, friend, I know a lot of times we say, it's how you say it to me and how you this and how you that. And I can understand that. I can. It is about how you say certain things. But I think a lot of times when you get to a certain level within any situation, you've got to have enough thick skin to be able to handle things. If you're able to dish stuff out to people and expect people to handle stuff, you got to be able to handle it. Adam and Eve didn't get spoken to kindly by God. They had to bear the weight of the curse. Many of you out here are bearing the weight of curses put upon you by dust eaters that have siphoned vital energy from you, God energy, ancestral energy. That was never theirs. And surely you know, if you're anything like me at this stage in my life, you want to come to terms with it and you want to speak truth to it in power that where everyone can get healed from. But you've got to be able to face the truth of it. How do you ever heal from something that no one tells you the totality of their truth? If no one tells you the totality of the truth of that thing that they have experienced from you, how do you even face that truth? And then how do you rectify yourself to move forward triumphantly in healing yourself so you don't go out doing that to other people? Because truth be told, friend, there's nothing new under the sun. And all can be redeemed if approached properly. These dust eaters amongst the children, not the fallen ones, but the children, have a redemptive aspect if they own what they've done. But if you don't see any wrong with it, I pray that everything that is owed to you befall you. Because where do the people that you have harmed find redemption? That is their redemption. And their redemption will be met regardless. It's just the law of the world. It's universal. It's the universal truths. Yet if you face yourself and you see yourself as, if you ask yourself, am I proud of my walk? If I ask myself right now, am I proud of my walk? I can come to an answer. I can rest in my answer. Many are not proud of their walk. And if you're not, pivotal time for you to say, you know what, I'm not. What can I do to fix that? Because there's nobody more important to me in this life than me and the God within me. My own daughter is the most important thing to me, but without me loving me and honoring the God within me, I can't be here for her. I've got to love me more than anything. And loving me means that I love the God within me. I was walking my dog the other day, and I said, my life is not all that it should be. It's not what I would have expected it to have been at this point. But I'm not remorseful. I just been taken on another journey that has been so rich, so fibrous. I got so much meat from my walk. It has been a blessing. That which was sent to curse me has blessed me. I'm just thankful to be myself. Without any applause, without any attention, just walking in some regular Adidas flip-flops, being able to have a shower, a roof over my head, food, my baby healthy and happy. I am happy. I am so happy. There's no vanity in that. It's the polar opposite of vanity. It's substance. I got a whole library of experiences, so many experiences that I don't even need to watch TV. I could just think. Are you proud of your walk? If not, you're the only one that can change it. You are the only one that can change it. And all of the avenues that God has led you down through your own doing, your own conniving, your own insecurities, your own whatever, for whatever reason, led you down them in interacting with those people, for you to get to the place where you are right now, looking at somebody like me, ask you, are you happy with your life? All roads lead here. Are you proud of your walk? If you had to stand before you and God, your ancestors, your mother, your father, grandparents, close people, would you be proud of your walk in this life? Would they be proud of you? Would they? That's important, friend. That is so important. Are you proud of your children's walk? As a mother or father, are you proud of your fruit, the fruit that you have produced, and how they have behaved amongst people? Are you? Are you proud of how you have managed them in their walk? Regardless of money. I'm talking to single moms, single dads, two-parent households, all of that. Are you proud of your children? Because I'm here to tell you, there's no greater gift than being proud of your children. Just character-wise, how they feel as people, their contribution to society. Not money. Because you can have some children that got a lot of money that's out here doing the worst things ever. Cursing the bloodline. I'm here to tell you. But are you proud of your children and their walk? These are some of the things that we can ask ourselves in looking to overcome situations that we have deemed necessary to our success. As I said yesterday, you can have anything in this world as long as you're willing to pay for it. My dad told me that a long time ago, and it rings so true today. Everything of this garden is yours. All of it. Some free. Some you got to pay for. This is my word for you all today. Always looking to be useful. These two podcasts have been very unorthodox. It's an unorthodox time. It is for me. I don't know. I don't know. Might just be for me. But looking to be useful. My internet is not acting correctly, you guys. So if I don't post as often, it's not because I'm not interested in doing so. It's because my internet is acting up. And that's on all my devices. So I don't know what, again, I'm always looking to come forward with information, but if I'm not able to do that, then I just can't do it. So you love more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you. It's this love thing, y'all. It is the love that has protected us. I'm telling you. It's the love that washes you of your sins. But you've got to provoke it. The washing of your sin is an internal wash. There's no magic fountain you go to get this. It comes forth from within outward. Think of it as sweat in the gym. You've got to do the work to get your pores to emit the sweat, cleansing yourself. It's an internal thing. You've got to right your wrongs. You got to own all of your stuff. All of us got to own all of our stuff. And there are some of us that act as mirrors, provoking you to own your stuff. Not because you're a bad person, not because they're bad people. Usually they're very good people. If God allowed you to be used as a mirror, friend, then you are a righteous vessel, because God doesn't work through an unrighteous vessel. But a lot of times what you see back is not what you want to see, and you want to blame it on other people. Really, it's you. It's you not being able to face you. And it's those people being able to see you clearly. And you know they see you. And you hate that they see you. I'm done today. Go back on the sofa. Go sit back on the sofa. No, I'm just joking. I'm going to get in here and cook some dinner. You love more than you'll ever know. Be good to yourselves and be good to one another. Peace and love.